Hi, we're the team from Blackheath Cooks, a cook shop and cookery school in South East London. My name's Joy.
My name's Alice.
I'm Sarah.
And we're going to show you a fun, easy recipe.
I'm going to show you how to make an easy gingerbread recipe. I'm going to use the dough to make some gingerbread people, but you could use the recipe to make any gingerbread biscuits. So the first two ingredients I'm going to combine are the sugar. This is the soft brown sugar. What I'm going to do before I mix it with the butter is actually just check for any lumps in the sugar. This type of sugar tends to have quite a lot of lumps. So I'm just going to bash it with my wooden spoon to get out any of those lumps. I'm then going to add my margarine. These have now been combined together. And again, just check that there's no lumps in the sugar. I'm then going to add my egg. We're also going to need 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. This can now be added, followed by the ground ginger. And finally, the last ingredient is the plain flour. And this is where it will form a kind of tougher dough to mix. Basically, we're after a kind of sort of biscuit dough. I've made the gingerbread dough, so I'm now at the stage where I can start rolling out. So I've just got a bowl here of some plain flour to put on the worktop. I'm actually just going to roll a portion of this dough for an example. So once you've made your dough, if it feels a little bit soft, just incorporate a little bit of the flour that I had on the worktop there, just to kind of firm it up a little bit, okay? It will get a bit more manageable once you've kind of rolled it maybe once and then kind of reformed it again. It's happy for you to do that, unlike sort of pastry and things. So just make sure you've got enough flour underneath your dough when you roll out. And roll it to the depth of about ½ centimetre. Place your cutter on. And then if you use like a palette knife or a flat spatula, I'm just going to try dusting it with some flour so it doesn't hopefully stick. And if there is a little breakage like that, you can always mend it, because obviously these will now cook in the oven, so that will kind of mend itself. And when you place them on the tray, just make sure they're not touching. They won't necessarily expand, but you don't want them to be touching. These are then going to go in the oven for 10 minutes. At 190, so a hot oven. So I'm going to take the gingerbread men and ladies out of the oven. What you can see is that they've started to get a little bit colour around their edges, and they've gone a bit firm to touch. But they will firm up a lot more if you leave them on the tray for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to leave them as they are for 5 minutes, and then you can decorate them in whichever way you like, with glacé icing or sprinkles or whatever you like. And that's how to make an easy gingerbread recipe.